While the glue is drying, we can mount the artwork on the mat board. I know this is the back of the mat board by the printing or by the symbol that's been put in the corner for aligning with the frame. So I'm going to put that part down. The star symbol that we put on all the pieces as well as the frame is at the bottom of the frame. Therefore, I have to put the bottom edge of the print on this edge. I'll just go by trial and error to get the same distance on each side, and then make the top the same. And a check down here to get everything lined up. When I've got the print in the right position, I'll hold it in place with some weights on a clean tea towel. Now I can prop up the artwork and put it back down with confidence in the right position. I've cut pieces of linen tape 2.5 inches long and 3.5 inches long so that I can make the T hinges that'll go here. The short piece of tape will stick to the art and the long piece of tape will stick to the backing board. I'm putting the short piece of tape down with the sticky side up. Then the long piece of tape goes across the top with the sticky side down, securing that to the mat. Then when I drop the artwork down, it'll stick to this sticky part here. Burnish down the tape with the back of a spoon so that it's stuck really good, and I'll repeat on the other side. Don't forget to save the backing paper for the next framing project to use as a protection on the wood against the clamp. These hinges are being arranged so that none of the tape will be visible when the art is dropped down onto the mat. So now we can carefully drop the artwork down. Then I'll feel where the tape is, and using the backing as a protection, I'll press down on the artwork to secure it to the tape. This is the linen tape. You can buy it on Amazon. Now we can stand up the mat board, and the artwork is hanging from it on the hinges. The benefit of hanging is that as the paper expands and contracts with humidity, it won't buckle. I've used 2 hinges in this case. If it was much wider, I'd put a 3rd hinge in the middle. Because the white linen tape is hard to see against the white mat board and the white artwork, I'll do a demonstration with colored paper representing the art and the mat. And on the linen tape, I'll draw a red line on the side that isn't sticky. You wouldn't do this in real life, but I'm just doing that to show what it's like. There's my sides that aren't sticky, and I'm going to put sticky side against sticky side. Get rid of the rest of the backing, and that makes the T hinge. Which goes onto the mat board. And then I have this little sticky bit which will attach to the artwork. And 2 common methods of making a hinge to join the art to the mat. There's the V hinge and the T hinge. And I've shown an S where the sticky part is in each case that would attach to the artwork. We want to minimize the surface area of the sticky part on the artwork so that we minimize the damage to the artwork. The V hinge has the advantage that if it's placed at the very top of the artwork, then the artwork can be folded all the way back. Now let's do an experiment to see which of these is the strongest for carrying the weight of the artwork over time. I've cut the pieces of tape the same size for the V hinge and the T hinge so we can get an even comparison. Here's the V hinge on the mat, and I'll burnish it down really good to give each hinge its best chance of succeeding. And now for the T hinge. Peel off to reveal the sticky part and burnish that down really good. Same thing on the V hinge. Crease there at the V. Then reveal the sticky part. Probably harder than I would on a real piece of artwork. But I'm giving each hinge its best chance. Here's how we'll test it. We got the V hinge on the left, the T hinge on the right, and I'll add weights of the same weight to each hinge, and we'll see how long they last. V hinge didn't last very long. Here we can see how the V hinge failed. It did not separate from the artwork. It simply peeled off of the mat. Give the T hinge some time and see how long it can last with the same weight. Okay, nothing seems to be happening. Step it up on the T hinge by going to heavier weights. And we'll give that a few minutes. Still nothing happening, so I'll add these weights to the other weights in order to double the weight. And give that a few minutes. Finally, the T hinge failed as well, but it could take a lot more weight, about 10 times more weight. It did not separate from the artwork. It separated from the mat. Two conclusions here. One, the T hinge is much stronger than the V hinge. The second point is that the sticky area that goes on the artwork does not have to be large. It could have even been smaller than what I used here because there's been no destructive stress showing up. So if anything, we want to put more tape on the mat, which doesn't matter because the mat isn't the precious thing that's being preserved.